Good evening, everyone, and welcome out to Four Wide Racing's week number 24. This is the last race of the season. It is the fast track finale here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. We are sitting here in the Cup cars. We're going to go 154 laps tonight. Only one fast repair, so don't get in too much trouble out there, because if you do, you're not going to be able to get back in the race. So once again, my name is as always, is Sean Griffith. I'll be joined a little bit later by Brandon Superman Brand Browning, and we will talk to him shortly. But let's talk about what's going on here at Four Wide Racing. So again, last week of the season. However, last week, James Holtzer actually ended up taking home the championship. So he has locked out his competition, and he is now your champion of Four Wide Racing, the Cup Series. And so here are your standings going into this race. Again, James Holtzer, your champion. But there's still a lot to race for here tonight. Look at Austin Reedy and Nicholas Vizzutti. They are within 3 points of each other for second place. Tyler Murray not that far back either, so there's a possibility that Tyler Murray could jump in there and put his nose in there. So Tyler Werner, Brandon Gillis, Jonathan Warren, so these guys, they've pretty much been pointed out. So it's basically going to be a race between three guys for that second place position, but still a lot of fantastic racers in this league. We have absolutely enjoyed broadcasting this league. Can't wait to see what this league does going forward. So they are out there on the track right now, getting all qualified up, getting ready to go. But let's talk about what's going on in the off season. So starting on the 6th, which is this coming Tuesday, we are going to be back at Daytona. So we're going to be testing out a few things. This is going to be in the Xfinity cars, not the Cup cars. So Xfinity cars are a little bit, I call them heavier. They're a little bit harder to control sometimes. Makes for a lot of fun racing, really. So really, it's a driver's car more than a speeder's car. So we're going to be in the Xfinity cars next, or for the off season. So we're going to start off at Daytona. We're going to go to Rockingham, go to a few other places here. We're going to be testing out a few things, some stage racing, as well as some playoff things. So we're going to be having a little bit of fun. So definitely, if you are either a beginner or someone that wants to get better at iRacing, or you just want to be part of a league of fun-loving guys and gals that really enjoy racing, yeah, they race hard, but they also help each other and just love being here, then this is the place for you. So let's see what we can do, because once again, I said that James Holtzer, you can see on your screen, he is the champion. And so let's see if we can grab him really quick and bring him into the booth. And the second I said that, he is actually disavowed. Oh, there he goes. Let me see if I can grab him for us here. Hey, James, Sean up in the booth. How's it going, man?
Hey, good, Sean. How's it going?
Doing good. So we tried to interview last week after the race. We apologize that we had some technical difficulties, but we wanted to chat with you here really quick. Season champion, congratulations first off. But how did you do it, basically?
Thank you. I don't know. I mean, we had a decent season. I mean, I know on the paper it looks like we had a lot of top 5s and top 10s, but pretty much when we weren't in the top 10, we didn't finish. Atlanta here last year, I keep saying last year, earlier in the season, feels like it's been so long ago. Earlier in the season, we were here. I was in second, and we were going for green flag pit stops, and ended up wrecking off turn 2 and had no fast repair left. So I think we got 12th or 13th here. Martinsville, we DNF'd. We DNF'd at Indy. We DNF'd quite a few races, but we showed up every week, which actually was our biggest point, and stayed consistent as we could.
Well, we're looking at your stats right now on the screen. So 23 starts, 3 wins. You had 13 top 5s, I believe. And so out of the 3,010 laps that you ran, you led 15% of those laps. And that's an incredible feat to lead more than 10% of the laps in the entire league. That's absolutely insane. That just goes to show that if you get out front, it's going to be tough to catch you. But was there anybody that kind of scared you at all along the way?
Yeah, this guy that's going to win the race tonight, already calling it because he dominated Atlanta last time we were here. Mitch Brown. If he showed up every week, he'd be kicking my butt. And the 78 and the 77, they're both teammates of Warren and I can't remember.
Jonathan Warren and Forrest Wynn.
Yeah, Forrest Wynn. Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. You're good, man.
So, yeah, they're both very fast too. So, they're three guys that I'll definitely have to keep in mind for next season if they race in the off-season Xfinity League too. Definitely gonna give me a run for my money. But we'll be doing a playoff system, so it'll be a completely different feel when we get to playoff time.
Oh, definitely. Next season's going to be an absolute blast. I know we were talking about the off-season league, and we're just telling everybody out there that's watching that if you want to be better at racing, if you want to be with a group of guys and gals that really just have fun, then this is the league for you. And so definitely, we appreciate you being up there. We loved watching you race. Definitely. Congratulations on a fantastic season. Is there anybody that you wanted to mention or thank but before I let you get back to the racing?
Yeah, just want to give a thanks to everyone that comes out and practices with me and pushes me to be better every week. I know I can't make the Sunday happy hours when we had them because I have other racing obligations throughout the week. But thanks to Reedy and Murray for making thanks to Reedy for racing with me and racing me hard. And he really we had a scuffle at the beginning of the year and kind of transformed us, made us both better drivers. And we've learned to race each other really cleanly but aggressively at the same time. And thanks to Murray for making my paint schemes. He made the scheme that I'll be running tonight. He's kick-ass at doing that. And thanks for coming in and broadcasting our league because it's awesome. We have watch parties every week after the race. So it's another thing, too. If you guys that are watching want to race in a league and then go back and watch it with all your pals that you race with after the race and laugh about funny moments and all that. I mean, it's such a great time. So.
Well, good deal, man. Well, we will get you back down there. I know they're gridding up right now. Congratulations on a great season. Can't wait to see what happens after this.
Thanks. No, thank you. We're starting P11 tonight, so we got some work cut out for us.
All right. Well, we'll watch it. All right. Once again, James Holtzer, your points champion. Congratulations to him. Let's jump out there on the track really quick so you can see here. This is the grid as it sits right now. So up front, Mitch Brown, who James was just talking about. Fantastic driver. He has been on a tear the last 3 or 4 weeks. Then you have Jake Roel there in second, Brandon Banks in third, Larry Rayburn Jr. That's Wayne Rayburn Jr. Is what he goes by. So that's he's up in fourth. Stephen Brunner up in fifth. Nicholas Vizzutti, who is competing for that second spot, he is up in sixth. Matt Roberts in seventh. Austin Reedy in eighth. And then you have Brandon Gillis in ninth. Craig Lautenslager in 10th. Then you have James Holtzer himself in 11th. And then Tyler Murray in 12th. And so that is your lineup for tonight. So again, congratulations to James Holtzer, but still got one more race to go, buddy. Let's see if we can get this thing done again tonight. But you are going to have to get around a lot of guys out there. Mitch Brown, in particular, Jake Roel, fantastic driver in his own right there in the 19 car on the outside. So we are coming around. We still got to go down the backstretch and around a couple more turns, and then we're going to get this party started. But we have been excited all year long for this last race. We were kind of hoping it'd be a little bit closer on the points to make it a little bit more dramatic for you, but James kind of took care of that business for us. But we got 154 laps tonight, guys. So buckle up, get ready. It is about to get real out here. Again, only one fast repair, so these guys have to be careful. There are 25 drivers out there on the track. And so coming around turns 3 and 4. Pace car is going to dive off. And then Mitch Brown is going to have the start this week here at the Fast Track Finale at Atlanta. And there he goes, Mitch Brown. And Jake Roel did not let him get too far. Jake times that absolutely perfectly. Doesn't quite cross the start-finish line ahead of Mitch Brown, which is good. You're not supposed to do that if you're in second. But he did not let Mitch get a very good lead on that. So Jake Roel is going to tuck in behind Mitch. And they are going to go side by side down the backstretch. Mitch Brown holding on to that lead on the bottom side. Jake Roel going to allow him to go ahead and lead this first lap, but he is definitely pushing. And so here we go. And those two have already opened up a half-second lead on third and fourth place. So these two are definitely going to town on it. They really, really want to get out there in front of everybody. And here at Atlanta, you can do that. The fun part about Atlanta, to me at least, is yes, you can draft. Oh, we do have a caution. We got a caution out there on the track. I believe that is, a lot of people involved in this one. So I believe we are going to get a rec replay, definitely. We're going to have to go back and figure out what happened back there. But again, with one fast repair, that is going to be really rough on a lot of people. Let's check out a Dent Wizard rec replay. And we can see back here in the back, and it looks like they were 3 wide back in the back. And I'm not sure if somebody checked up or what. So number 1, Lane Bullock, looks like it just kind of got loose. He got down into Stephen Waldrop, and then everything started from there. Looks like the number 2... I'm trying to find Cade Gimble. So Cade Gimble was involved in that as well, the number 32 as well. Man, we got all sorts of damage. So that's Robert Ballard. In the 16, we got Donnell Williams. So all sorts of damage going on already. Only a couple laps in. We will try to get you another angle on that, just so you can see exactly what happened there. Actually, we're going to do that one more time here. Hopefully we can get a better view with a lot more clarity as far as, this one's going to work. So yeah, it looks like the number 1 just got up into the wall just a little bit, started spinning, and then everybody else went with them. So just a lot of damage on the track. I'm looking to see who else got through there. So Tyler Werner made it through, which is good. So he's up there battling for some points. Looks like we got... man, just all sorts of stuff going on. So the 82 of Debbie Hutchins, I'm not sure if she was involved or not, but we will jump back and find out where everybody's sitting. So it looks like Jake Roel actually did make the pass right there before the start-finish line, and so he will inherit the lead once we go back to green. So since we have just a little bit of time, you know what? Let's go ahead and try to get Jake Roel up here. I know he is one of the admins of the league. Let's see if we can find out what he's up to. Jake Roel, Sean Griffith up in the booth. How's it going, man?
Doing well, Sean. How about yourself?
Well, doing good, man. So 3 laps in, we get our first caution, and somehow, some way, you pass Mitch Brown, who was on our pole. So, so what is it looking like out there right now?
Up front, it looks good. David Duke, teammate in this from Mid-South Madness, was saying it was quite a bit of a hornet's nest back there behind him. Chai gets brought out the yellow.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of damage back there. So what is your key to winning? I know we're going into 3 and 4 right now, but what's your key to winning tonight?
Keeping the car clean, conserving the tires. Like Larry Mack said, this place is a cheese grater on tires, so just got to keep the right side tires good for a long run, and hopefully we'll be up here when it counts.
All right, buddy. We'll let you get right back to it. Hopefully we'll talk to you a little bit later on.
Awesome. Thanks, Sean.
All right, that's Jake Roel up there in the number 19 car. And he is going to have Mitch Brown on his outside. Now, that first restart, that first start of the day, well, here we go. So Jake Roel, he is going to get the start here. And he takes off. I was going to say that the first start of the day, Mitch Brown didn't really beat Jake Roel to the line too much. Jake Roel got a little bit of a better restart on this time around. So we'll see if that plays into any factors later on. So once again on lap 3, we already had our first caution. And hopefully everybody will kind of settle down a little bit because we've got another 148 laps of this. But just like in that first little quick stint, we've got Jake Roel and Mitch Brown up front just pulling away from the pack already. We're talking already 0.4 of a second ahead of third place, which is Brandon Banks. And once again, they are just side by side the entire time. So they are matching each other step for step. And so a little bit further back in the pack. So we got some 2-wide racing. Almost had some 3-wide there. So this is the battle for 10th place. So this is Roberts. So he is Matt Roberts in the number 21 car. He is trying to catch up to Jonathan Warren. And Jonathan Warren, again, one of those drivers that has a lot of wins this season. So I believe he has 5 wins on the season. So definitely a great driver out there in 10th place. So Matt's going to have a little bit of trouble getting past him there. But back up front, let's check out this battle. So Jake Roel has finally gotten in front of Mitch Brown, for the time being at least. And it looks like we are pretty much single file back to about 6th or 7th place. So Mitch Brown just taking his time, just catching that draft, not really putting too much effort into it just yet. He knows he's got a long way to go. And again, Mitch Brown has been on fire the past few weeks. So first place, and second place in the past 3 weeks. And so he is looking to close out the season, finishing strong. Like James Holtzer was saying, if Mitch was here every week during the season, then he would likely be giving James a strong run for his money. And Mitch Brown will go to the inside, try to take that lead. Again, couple different race lines here. So just because you get to the inside doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to get that lead. And he does not, actually. So Jake Roel definitely holding his own out there on the outside. And once again, Mitch is going to just tuck in right behind him. So let's jump back just a little bit and see. Let's talk about Nick Vizzutti here. So Nick Vizzutti is battling for that second position in the points. And so he's sitting there in that number 75 car. Now his main competition for second place in the league is back in 15th position. So that is Austin Reedy, who we'll see here in just one moment in that number 11 red, white, and blue car. So that is Austin Reedy. He is currently in second by 3 points. And so if Nick Vizzutti can pull off a good finish today and Austin has some trouble, then Nick Vizzutti could potentially take second place in the championship for the entire league. So you can see, we got a couple people up in the wall there. Oh, the 30. That's Steve Brunner. He was up in the wall, and there they go. They go spinning to that. We were just talking about Austin Reedy, and there he goes into, and we got Debbie Hutchins into Steve Brunner, and then Kate Gimbel as well. So definitely some wrecking going on back there. We will find out exactly how that happened. So let's go to another Dent Wizard Rec replay. And so you will see, actually, and let me back it up just a little bit here. So you will see that the 30 gets into the wall just a little bit, bounces down off the wall, and as Austin Reedy comes up, the 30 starts coming off that wall and just slides, tags the number 1 of Lane Bullock, and then gets back out into the outside with Austin Reedy, and then everything else starts from there. So definitely not what Austin Reedy was needing, especially in this points championship. And then we see Debbie Hutchins and a couple others come up and just, I'm not sure if they thought there was nowhere to go or if they didn't see it. I think there may have been plenty of time to get around them, but definitely some damage for Debbie Hutchins now as well. So lots of stuff going on. Again, not very far into this race. So we're only 15 laps in and already 2 cautions. So if this keeps up, it's definitely going to become a battle of attrition out there. But again, Jake Roel getting out of the pits first, and he will continue to be in the lead here of this race. So just checking to see, and Jake was saying how much of a cheese grater these racetracks are here at Atlanta. And they definitely are. In fact, we had a race with another circuit, with another league at Atlanta, and it was called the Midnight Cheese Grater. And so that is definitely what we're looking at here. And so these tires are going to be extremely important all night long. So you can see everybody coming off pit road, and we will get all put back together again, and we will go for it one more time. Let's get Jake back up here one more time really quick. I know we were talking a little bit earlier about the off-season league and that. So Jake, once again, Sean up in the booth. How's it going, man?
Doing well.
Well, we got a little bit more time this time around. So I know that you're an admin in the league, and that this league is definitely looking to grow. And I know we have an off-season program coming up, and then next season is going to be just completely epic. So what could you tell somebody that is either watching this for the first time, never done iRacing, or just wants to get better?
Definitely. I mean, this is the league for you. I know this season they were running a truck series parallel with their Cup series, just to give guys more practice, or even for more of the novice guys that might have been a little nervous or anxious about just jumping into a Cup series. But this is the perfect league for you. Ton of room to grow. Like you said, this off season it's a 16-week thing with one off week, 5 race playoff in the Xfinity cars. These guys are great to race with. You learn a lot of things. That's why I like doing a couple different leagues. You just learn a lot of things from quicker guys, and just makes you better. Or if you're watching this, don't have iRacing, highly recommend. I've had it for almost 7 years, and it's been the best investment I've ever done for anything like this. I don't touch my PS4 anymore. That's all I do is iRacing.
So parents, if you have kids out there, even if you have kids that are addicted to Xbox or PS4 or whatever it is, this is perfect for them, right?
Oh, 100%. Especially if you're a race fan, into cars, anything like this is for you. There's obviously more than just oval racing on iRacing too, so you can dabble in anything.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely the closest you're going to come to real race competition with real live people, besides getting out there on the actual track. So, you know what, buddy? We will let you get right back to it. Yeah, you're doing a great job so far, and hopefully we'll talk to you a little bit later on in Victory Lane.
Awesome. As always, Sean, appreciate it.
All right, brother. Take care.
Thank you.
All right, so Jake Rowell, one of the admins, talk about this next season as well as the off season. And so again, the off season, we're kind of testing a few different things. We're testing some stage racing, which is what they do in NASCAR now. We're testing some playoff structures, that sort of thing. We want to make it a lot of fun for people, but Jake Rowell is on the green flag, and there he goes. He takes off, and once again, Mitch Brown is going to tuck in right behind him. I don't think that Mitch is going to let Jake get too far out here. And so a little bit earlier, we were talking about Jonathan Warren. He was up in 10th place. Now he is up in 4th place, and he is charging. So that number 78 Texaco car is doing the work out there, and he is working on number 20, Brandon Banks right now. Sorry. And he is going to try to make that pass and try to march further towards the front. Jonathan is our highest or our biggest mover so far of the night. He has moved up 17 spots already. So from 21st position up into 4th. So he has found something on this track, and he is going to try to exploit it. So Craig Lautenschlager going to his inside, trying to make that pass in his rising car. But Jonathan Warren not letting that quite happen. And now while these guys are racing, then up front you got Jake Rowell and you have Mitch Brown on his outside. They are doing some racing as well. So these top 4 or 5 cars, 4 cars now, so these top 4 cars are starting to get together a little bit. And there's a possibility here that these 4 cars, if they just run their lines better, then these 4 could break away from the pack, which is what you're seeing right now. Jonathan Warren into 3rd place now, passing Brandon Banks. So we'll see if he has anything for Mitch Brown or Jake Rowell. But Jake right now has led almost every lap. Not all of them, but almost all of them. And he is holding firm to that lead. A little bit further back in the pack, so you got Nick Vizzutti coming up. So in the number 75 car, he is trying to make the pass on Tyler Murray in that number 8 car. So Nick Vizzutti definitely wants a good finish, because, again, he and Austin Reedy are locked in a battle for second place in points for the entire season. And this being the last race, this is his last chance to get it done. Oh, I saw another car up there. So that 79, that CMC fabrication car, that's David Duke. So a fantastic driver, and a lot of people don't know this, but I am perfectly willing to share. He used to be a crew chief out in the old Busch series. So definitely David Duke, fantastic driver, as well as a crew chief in the old days. I say the old days, he's young. But out here racing with our guys and gals, so we appreciate him being here. Always fun to see David Duke out there on the track. A little bit further back, I know I'm still keeping an eye on the front here just to be sure there's no passing taking place, but Jake Royal and Mitchell Brown still just nose to tail. But I did want to touch base really quick, go back to number 99, Roman Long. I know his car looks completely damaged, and that's because it is. But Roman Long, definitely a really great guy. He was the one that put this league together. We certainly appreciate Roman and everything that he's done for this league. It's a fantastic league. Don't hesitate to join this league. They are a lot of fun to be around. But up front, Jake Roel holding that slight lead. Jonathan Warren not going away. Craig Lautenslager has passed Brandon Banks for 4th place, but he's still got about half a second to go to get to these top 3. And Mitch Brown, once again, right on the bumper. And now Mitch will go down to the inside. Let's see if he can make it stick. And here they come to the line. And that may have been Mitch Brown on that one. So again, very, very tight racing here. And here comes Jonathan Warren. Oh no, Jake Rowell got into the wall. Jonathan Warren spun him, and Jake's going to get hammered. And now we got all sorts of wrecking back in the back. And so that started, man, he was our leader for a while, and it just got up into the wall. And just that little bit of getting up into the wall can ruin a race. So let's pull up another Dent Wizard Rec replay and take a look and see if we can figure out how that happened. And we are going to see here, Jake gets up into the wall, has nowhere to go, and Jonathan Warren was just right there, and he gets hit a couple different times. And then, oh man, the number 21 of Matt Roberts into the wall hard. Looks like we got Tyler Murray involved in that as well. So definitely a lot of damage out there. We'll look at it again a couple times. So here comes the 21. He took a huge hit just trying to get out of the way, it looks like. And he dove down, and he was worried about that number 13. Oh, he actually hit the number 13. That's Craig Lautenslager. He tapped him and then went hard into the wall. Nick Vizzutti involved in that as well. So both of our guys that are going for 2nd and 3rd place, both of them have been involved in wrecks in the past couple of laps. So definitely not what they were looking for in this race. But now up front, Mitch Brown. He is out there, and he did not pit this time around. And so he last pitted on lap 14, so his tires will be 14 laps old. Jake Rowell did get into the pits. He will likely use that fast repair now. Doesn't really have too much of a choice, I don't believe. But then up in 2nd place, Brian Crocker in the 08 car. Haven't said his name at all yet. But here he is in the 08, scoring in 2nd place. And so we will see if that holds up as everybody goes through the pits and everything. But Brian Crocker actually did not pit that lap. So he and Mitch Brown taking a little bit of a gamble and staying out. You'll see all these cars that are in front of him will likely, I don't know if they'll get the wave around. They'll probably get a wave around here. A few of them are pitting. And so while we have a brief moment, let's see if we can get Mitch Brown up here, talk to him a little bit. Hey, Mitch Brown, Sean up in the booth. How's it going?
Going.
Man, we are watching you. You have been on a tear for the past 3 weeks. What are you attributing that to?
Just practice, and that's pretty much it. Just practicing, trying to get a feel of the car each week. That's pretty much it.
Well, man, I mean, you were giving Jake Rowell fits up there. I know he was involved in that wreck, but it looks like he's back out on the track in 4th, so might see a little bit more between you two. Do you have something for him tonight?
Yeah, I feel like I got something for him. I don't know. We'll just have to wait to see. It's too early in the race to figure out who's going to be fast or not. Maybe we'll get top 100, and we'll kind of figure out who's going to win with me. We'll just play by ear.
All right. Is there anybody else that you're concerned about there on the track? I know we've only gone 29 laps, but anybody else that you've seen that you're kind of, this guy's coming?
Car. It seemed like he was getting quicker as the run went on. We didn't really get that much of a long run. Maybe if we get a long run here, I can gauge how fast he is over the run, but not really worried about it. Just trying to put some laps down.
All right, man. Well, I hope we get that long green flag run. It's a lot of fun to watch you guys race. A lot of fun to see you doing well out there. And so we'll let you get back to it. Good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thanks.
All right, so Mitch Brown up in the 51 car. And he will bring us back to our green flag. And so we have Brian Crocker out on the outside. And so he started off in the 20th position. He is all the way up in 8th now. I'm sorry, in 2nd now. So he is the number 8, sorry. And then Brandon Banks, who started 3rd, he is in 3rd right now. And Jake Rowell, who's led a lot of this race already, he is back in 4th after that wreck. Just kind of going down the list, seeing who else we see. So a couple of guys that we need to mention. So Austin Reedy, again, he was involved in one of the wrecks. I believe it was the first wreck in the number 11 car. He is up in 12th position, and his competition tonight for that 2nd place position is Nick Vizzutti up in 17th position right now. So a few positions separate those two. It'll be interesting to see how that works itself out. So pace cars bringing them around. And Mitch Brown will be on the green flag. And he takes off, and he gets a great jump on Brian Crocker. Jake Rowell goes out to the outside. And he is going to try to, they're going to make it 3 wide already. It looks like the 20 of Brandon Banks got down onto the apron. Let's see if he can save it. And he will save it, but that was a scary moment for Brandon Banks, restarting up in the 3rd position, I believe, and he has dropped all the way back to 17th after a little bit of contact, it looked like. So back up front, here comes Jake Rowell, once again battling for the lead. So he and Mitch Brown have gone at it all night tonight, and they are right back to it. And Jake Rowell gets turned. And so does Mitch Brown, so does Jonathan Warren, all of them spinning. So our leaders involved in a wreck there. And that is going to collect them. And keep in mind, I believe that Jake Rowell had already used his fast repair. So that might spell some trouble for Jake for the race. And so we will go back once again and do another Dent Wizard wreck replay. And let's find out what happened here. And you saw it live, so as they're coming around, it looks like Jake was trying to get the run. And I'm not sure. I mean, it's hard to tell who was really at fault there. It looked like 2 guys going for the same position at the same time. Jake takes a huge hit on that left front fender, so that will damage the engine definitely. A lot of damage out there. So back to another caution. Let's see who else was involved in that. I believe Jay Gimbel was involved in that as well. We will take a look at that. And he just tried to get out of the way, Jay Gimbel did. So he just tried to kind of slide down there to the bottom, and he ends up touching the wall. Craig Lautenschlager also involved. And oh, he just got hit, and that rising car, that number 13, is damaged. And then Debbie Hutchins involved as well. You can see her in the pedigree car. Just coming around. It looks like Jake tried to get back out onto the track. Okay, she got it slowed down, it looks like. So no big deal on that one. Let's take a look at Roman Long in the number 99. And so again, he just gets slowed down just in time. So a lot of damage going on out there on the track. I believe, what is this, our fourth caution? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is our fourth caution. We've only been 34 laps. So at this point, we have got some cars that are seriously damaged out there. And a lot of these cars have already used their fast repairs. But don't look now, ladies and gentlemen, but up front, we have the number 88, our league champion, James Holtzer, has taken the lead. And so he started off in 11th position. He is up in first now. So this is what champions do. They take advantage of other people's mistakes, and they end up there at the finish line. So James is up there. Let's see if we can grab him really quick and find out what's going through his head. Hey, James, Sean up in the booth. How's it going, man?
It's good, man. That was a wild ride.
I mean, we're looking at all these wrecks, 4 wrecks in the past 35 laps. And so all of a sudden, here you were in 10th place, and now you're up in first. So what is going on out there?
I saw the 51 just got tight. The 19 was racing really hard. And it's kind of the product of the racing, you know. I mean, we all race really hard and really close, so mistakes happen up front. And I was just keeping on coming and was just hoping the 19 didn't come all the way down the track, or I had nowhere to go. I don't know how many that involved, but glad that we were up at the front here, and hopefully we can keep it up there so they can keep wrecking behind us.
Yeah, I think I counted 7 people involved in that wreck, and I mean, we've had quite a few other wrecks as well, so I have a feeling that a lot of these fast repairs are already being used. And so is that kind of, I mean, obviously it's an advantage to you, but is that going to play into your strategy as far as there may be more cautions coming?
Yeah, I mean, we had really long green flag laps, lap runs, last time we were here. So I think it's a possibility that things might get settled down and start going now. And we still have our fast repair, so hopefully we could save that for the end.
All right, man. Well, we'll get you right back down there and get right back to it, buddy.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right. All right, our league champion up there in first place, and he is very comfortable up there. Now, he had mentioned Forrest Wynn in the 77 car in his interview with us a little bit earlier, and there is Forrest Wynn up in second place. David Duke, the former crew chief, he is up in third, so he is loving his position as well. Tyler Murray up in fourth, and so we've seen Tyler... and in the chat it says Tyler Murray missed it, which I think he was talking about. He missed one of the wrecks, which is good. And you can see he is up in fourth position right now. And so we will find out where he ends up. Now, another name we haven't really talked about, we've talked about Austin Reedy, who's up in fifth, but on his outside is Wayne Rayburn Jr. So in that number 44, it almost looks like a military-type car. We can kind of take a look and see. Yeah, that's a good-looking car, man. So Wayne Rayburn Jr., great racer. We've raced with him in a couple of other series as well. So really good guy, and glad to see him out there on the track. So he is up in sixth position. And so the pace car dives off, and here we go once again. James Holtzer bringing us to the start-finish line here on lap 37, getting us restarted. And now he can go to work, and man, everybody is chasing that position. Look at this. They are 8 cars all bunched up. 9 cars all bunched up now. David Duke going to the inside, trying to go off and take that lead. Austin Reedy coming to the inside as well. But David Duke is going to try to make it stick down there on the bottom. And let's see who takes that lap. I believe that was still James Holtzer taking that lap. So that outside line is definitely working. He's getting a nice run on the outside. But David Duke staying to the inside. He's about to get a little bit of a push from Austin Reedy. So that will help him possibly clear James Holtzer. But I don't know. Holtzer's getting a nice little push from Forrest Wynn there as well. So a couple little teams forming up there, even though they're not really teammates. So it looks like James Holtzer finally clears David Duke. Now, I'll tell you, I've seen David drive a lot of truck series races, so he's enjoying those truck series. Really great driver out there. But James Holtzer, our points champion, out front, just like he's been for 15% of the laps for the season. We said that stat a little bit earlier. So for 15% of the laps, he has led. And so he is going to try to add to that total here tonight. All right, but now we've got Mitch Brown coming back to life on the inside of David Duke. He's going to get to the inside of James Holtzer as well. Even after that wreck, he wants back in. And so here he comes to the inside. Let's see if he can get past James Holtzer. And he will for the moment. And he will make it stick. He will lead another lap. So James Holtzer was the leader for just a little while, but here comes Mitch Brown to lead some more laps of his own. And now Jonathan Warren wants back in as well. So, man, that little incident just a few laps ago does not scare them at all. Jonathan Warren up in third, putting some pressure on James Holtzer, trying to get back up to the front to challenge Mitch Brown once again. The 33 of Tyler Werner up there in fourth. So a few of the old guard up there, and then a few guys that we haven't talked about too much are up there now. So one guy that is feeling it right now, so Jake Rowell back there in 18th position, and he is about to go a lap down, I believe. And so you will likely see him coming into the picture shortly. So James Holtzer trying to track down Mitchell Brown, but right now he is being tracked by Jonathan Warren and Tyler Werner. We're keeping an eye on these guys. Mitch Brown has opened up a half-second gap, so we're going to stick back here to the better racing for now. See if Jonathan Warren can do anything right here behind our points champion. So let's take a look and see. I believe you can see right in front of Mitch Brown, that is Jake Rowell. So I believe that's who that is. So Jake, pretty classy guy. He'll likely get out of Mitch Brown's way. He knows that he doesn't have the car right now to keep up with him. So and Mitch has opened it up even further. So 0.7 of a second and opening. So he is on a tear, just like we've been talking about. Oh, and Jake Rowell puts him into a wall. And that will bring out another caution. And that, I'm not going to say anything negative on the broadcast, but that looked bad. That looked pretty bad. So let's go back and take a look at the Dent Wizard Rec replay. And we will see Jake Rowell just takes a right turn into Mitch Brown. So definitely that probably carried over, of course, from the previous incident where they got into each other and spun. But hard to see that. So Mitch Brown will get back into the pits, hopefully repair that car, get back out there. But that allows James Holtzer to once again lead the race. And so here they come down the pit road, and it's really hard for anybody to stay out and not get tires at this track just because they eat up tires so much here. It is such a rough track to drive down. So if anybody does stay out, and I believe one person did, so Brandon Gillis is still out there on the track electing to not pit. So definitely going to have a rough time a little bit later on in the stage. But, hey, the way the people are wrecking right now, the truth of the matter is we might not go another 10 laps, and he might be able to jump in and get some tires and not be any worse off than anybody else. And so we will wait for everybody to kind of get bunched back up one more time here. And it doesn't look like Brandon Gillis is going to come in. So sometimes people wait until the later laps of these cautions to go into the pits. We'll find out if he's planning on going in right here. And if not, then maybe we can get him in here for a quick little interview, find out what his strategy is. Yeah, I do not see him coming down. So let me see if we've got him up. And we don't. I don't have him in chat at all. So unfortunately, not going to be able to touch base with Brandon. But back behind him, so going to be starting on his outside is James Holtzer, our points champion. Jonathan Warren, who was making huge runs on that last run. He is up in third. Tyler Murray in fourth in the 8 car, that pink and black car. So Tyler Murray and Brandon Gillis came out with these cars a little bit earlier this week. A really good-looking car. I believe it was it may have been... I believe it was both of them, yes. So these cars were up on the feed a little bit earlier this week. So really good-looking cars. Glad to have him. Glad to have him. Both of them here. So I believe actually one of them was Cade Gimble as well. So we got 3 pink and black cars out there. So always fun to see those color combos. And so we will get the one to go here as the pace car comes across. And so we will get all stacked right back up. And so again, only 17 people on the lead lap right now. Tyler Werner trying to get back out there. But up front, Brandon Gillis and the number 9 Under Armour car is going to bring us back to the start-finish line. James Holtzer on his outside. So James Holtzer definitely in position here. To have another fantastic finish. And usually we'd be interviewing the leader right now, but I don't see Brandon Gillis in the chat. So I apologize for that. We will try to get them, especially if he wins the race. We'll try to figure out how to get him on here. But pace car will dive off. Brandon Gillis has the start. And there he goes. And it looks like he spun the tires a little bit. He got a little bit sideways right off the start. So that's going to allow James Holtzer to stay right there with him on the restart. And then you got Jonathan Warren. It looks like almost 3 wide here going into this corner. And let's see if they can all make it out safely. And they do. Jonathan Warren will get up there and take second position. We are still going 3 wide. David Duke down on the inside, and now they will kind of get sorted out. Still 2 and 3 wide back in the back. So definitely some great racing going on right now. But up front, James Holtzer in the number 88 car, leading the number 78, Jonathan Warren. And another name we haven't really said tonight, Stephen Waldrop up in the 6 car, that green Sinclair car. So he is up in 4th position. So, or I'm sorry, that's Castrol. I apologize. Looked like Sinclair from back here. And we do have another caution. Oh, all sorts of damage back there in the back. And so once again, another big caution. Looks like Nick Vizzutti somewhat involved there. I'm not sure how much damage he got, but let's go back and check out and find out what happened on this one. So another Dent Wizard Wreck replay. And so I believe this is going to start off with Brandon Gillis. And so it looked like they went 3 wide. Let's find out if that is the case. Oh, the 32 got a great run, but just wasn't enough room for all 3 of them. That's Robert Ballard. Gets up into Brandon Gillis. Brandon Gillis goes up into the wall, and then everybody starts spinning after that. And so it looks like Wayne Rayburn collected in that. Looks like Nick Vizzutti got down into the grass. Not sure he had too much damage. And also the number 30 of Stephen Brunner, who had a little bit of a great run earlier. He was involved as well. So once again, I believe this is caution number 6. I'll have to go back and count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yep, so 6 cautions already in this race. This is going to be a really, really tough race for people to survive, but James Holtzer is loving it. Just, if you want to stay clean in a race, then the best place to be is up front. And that is where he is right now. So James Holtzer still our leader. And then Jonathan Warren up in 2nd, who has been giving him a great race. So Jonathan Warren is getting some great runs off the corners. Tyler Murray up in 3rd. Stephen Waldrop in 4th. Forrest Wynn in 5th. And David Duke in 6th. So we're only 1/3 of the way there, guys. So out in the chat, Jacob Smith said, that looked like some payback. Yeah, like I said, Jacob, I don't really like to assume, but it didn't look good. So that's pretty much all I can say on that one. So. And so we are right back at it. Let's see if we can't get another person up in here. So let's see if we can get Austin Reedy. And I know he's going to be surprised to hear from us because right now he's sitting back in 8th position. But let's see if we can grab a quick chat with him. Hey, Austin, Sean up in the booth. How's it going, man?
It could be a better night, but we're having fun tonight.
Yeah, man. So you're back there in 8th position right now. I know you and Nick Vizzutti are really going toe-to-toe here for that that 2nd place position. You got a 3-point lead coming in. Do you have something for him tonight? Because I know both of you have been involved in wrecks already.
Yeah, I think we both had to use our fast repair. I got hit pretty early. I think it was like lap 10, and I saw he got absolutely killed on the back stretch. So I know we both have no fast repair. He just said he had a pit for damage, but I think I'm all clean. So we'll see if we can get up there.
All right, good deal. So what are you looking forward to? I mean, number one, are you racing with us next season or in the off season? And if so, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking for this off-season league. I think it's gonna be really fun. We're doing a bunch of new stuff with the points and a couple other stages and tire sets. So I think it's gonna be fun. We're gonna go back to full wide league. I think it's like January 27th, Wednesday. So it's gonna be fun too.
Man, excellent. Well, it's always good to see you out there. Congratulations on a great season. I know 2nd isn't exactly where you want it to be, but still fantastic racing. And we will see you a little bit later on, hopefully tonight. And then if not tonight, then a little bit later on for the off-season.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right, buddy. All right, so once again, Austin Reedy really working for that 2nd place. He did mention Nick Vizzutti did jump into the pits to repair some damage. Nick is back out there on track on the lead lap still, so still have a little bit of ways to go. So he still has a shot to stay in this thing. We can go back and take a look at that car and see what it looks like. You can definitely see still a lot of damage on that car. Hopefully doesn't affect the performance too much, but anytime you get that hood crinkle there, a lot of times that means you are going to have some engine damage. And so if you have engine damage, you could be down on power, and if you're down on power, you just can't keep up. One guy that is not down on power at all, the number 88 of James Holtzer, and also his competition out there on the outside, that is the 78 of Jonathan Warren. Looks like he's got a little bit of damage too, but he has been coming on super strong tonight, so can't wait to see what happens there. So the pace car is off, and James Holtzer does have the green flag, and there he goes. Once again, those 11 viewers that are out there in the chat, go ahead and chat it up if you'd like to, but definitely hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We do have some other great leagues that we are broadcasting, and don't want you to miss a single minute of it. James Holtzer out front, already pulling away just a little bit. Tyler Murray moving into second position past Jonathan Warren. It usually takes Jonathan about 3 or 4 laps, and then once he gets those 3 or 4 lap old tires, he really gets into it. So can't wait to see what he does here. And so he is going to go to the inside, and it looks like Stephen Waldrop dove down to the inside. It looked like he lost the car there for a second. So just kind of dove off the track. And now James Holtzer in the 88 getting some competition there from the number 8 of Tyler Murray on the inside. And Tyler's been a great racer this season as well. So definitely these top 3 guys, top 4 guys, top 5 guys, really all 5 of these really fantastic racers all season long. David Duke, kind of a newcomer to the league, but fantastic racer in his own right. So it wouldn't shock me at all to see any of these top 6 guys really take this thing home. But we still have another almost 100 laps to go, so another 95 laps of this race. So plenty of time to figure that stuff out. One person we'll invite into the top 7 now, Roman Long. So we saw him with a hood off a little bit earlier, and now he has got the hood back on, used that fast repair, and now he is racing hard. So that number 99 car is back out there and working, and he is tracking down David Duke right now for that 6th position. He is on the move. That is our league owner, Roman Long. But up front, James Holtzer, so where he is most comfortable is right there in the lead, and he has let Jonathan Warren and Tyler Murray race side by side behind him, and can't quite take advantage of that. Tyler Murray gets a really good run, gets a nice little draft off of James Holtzer. And here they come back to the start-finish line. 61 laps down. Still a nice long way to go. So, and it looks like Warren and Tyler Murray got into each other just a little bit maybe. Definitely some close racing if they didn't touch. And I did see some smoke back there. Didn't know who that came from, so somebody may have either brushed the wall. So back a little ways, so Roman Long tracking David Duke still, and he's going to dive to the inside. And not quite enough there to take it over from David Duke. So Duke is going to hold on to that 6th spot. And now Tyler Murray, Forrest Wynn. So Forrest Wynn is going to be up on the outside, and he is going to get a little bit of a push from Austin Reedy, but a little too late. So Tyler Murray stays up there in 3rd for the time being. Here comes Forrest Wynn once again on the inside. Austin Reedy is going to follow him down to the inside, and that is going to leave Tyler Murray up there hanging. Up front, James Holtzer and Jonathan Warren going side by side. Jonathan inching away from him, then Holtzer gets it back. Then it's just going to go back and forth like this for a while. So Holtzer still leads that lap. So once again, another lap led for Holtzer. Oh, we had Austin Reedy blink out there for a second, and that tight of racing, that's tough when somebody blinks out right in front of you when you're that tight. So definitely seeing some blinking now out of Austin Reedy. Not sure what that's about. Just technology issues, obviously. But now Holtzer on the inside, and he is just making that car work tonight. So he will once again lead another lap. So Holtzer not letting anybody else play out there. People are coming close, but just not quite getting there. And you can see the back of James Holtzer's car, so he does have a Twitch channel, so we will pull that up here in just a brief moment so we can give that a little. So looks like it's twitch.tv/James Holtzer. So definitely go and check out his Twitch channel as well, so you can see him drive. He does drive in multiple leagues. And it looks like we got Forrest Wynn there on the inside now. So Holtzer had mentioned him a little bit earlier in an interview. And there he is side by side with him. So honestly, really tight racing up here. I don't really want to get away from the leaders. I'll tell you the top 9 positions are all within 1.2 seconds of the leader. So extremely good battles up front right now. This is a lot of fun to watch. And even though they're starting to kind of line up now, it's still really tight. And some people can't make it out to the races right now, so we're going to bring the races out to you. So here's your fan cam out there in the stands. It's still James Holtzer out front, Forrest Wynn in second. Austin Reedy, who we just interviewed not too long ago, up in third position. He really, really wants to get back up there. I know he and James Holtzer have a history. They've raced each other extremely hard all the time. That's led to some incidents, but I know that both of them respect each other. It's just sometimes when you got a couple hard-nosed racers, those incidents happen. And so Austin wanting to get back up there and prove that he belongs. Right now he is second in points. Oh no, we got Forrest Wynn up in the wall. And he's going to get down to the bottom of the track. No caution for that. But that's going to allow Austin Reedy to really get up there with James Holtzer. And now we finally got in the long run, so we're about 19 laps into this run. And it's good to finally see that we can get a few laps in here. Now we can see what these cars all have. So Austin Reedy looks like his car is coming alive on the long run. He's going to dive down to the inside. And he and Holtzer are going to go back and forth for that lead. Let's see who takes it at the wire. And it's still going to be Holtzer at the line. So nobody has quite dethroned our champion just yet. But Reedy's giving it everything he can possibly give it. And so I'll tell you right now, so 17 drivers on the lead lap right now. So last driver on the lead lap is Robert Ballard. Still got a good 12 seconds or so before we catch him. So still got a lot of time to get there. Looks like people are starting to spread out a little bit, except for these top four. These top four just keep switching back and forth, back and forth. But for the most part, everybody behind them has pretty well spread out. Now we got a little bit of good racing back here. So Tyler Murray got some racing going on. He is up there trying to pass Jonathan Warren. So right now, this is the closest battle on the racetrack. Oh, we got somebody tapped the wall. Was that Roman Long? I believe it was. Yep, Roman Long, and he is sliding back up into the wall again. He comes down. He avoids everybody, which is fantastic. Oh, my gosh. Not sure how he avoided everybody there. That was amazing. So, but he definitely has some damage. You can see it is hard to control that car right now. He is definitely going to have to get something there fixed. going back up front. So David Duke has moved into the second position, passing Austin Reedy. And he is going to try to track down Holtzer once again. Again, Holtzer has taken on all challengers so far and has beat them all up. And we do have a yellow flag. So let's go back and see what is going on back there. And it looks like, oh, I'm not sure who that, oh, it looks like Stephen Waldrop. So Stephen Waldrop got turned. So let's go back and take a look with another Dent Wizard Reg replay. Let's see if we can find out what happened here. And so Stephen Waldrop, yeah, it looks like he's just sliding. Again, these tires are already shot. Yeah, that was self-inflicted, really. So these tires are just absolutely shot at this point. And so if you give it a little bit too much gas, then you're just going to start spinning. So, and that's what happened there. Again, they call this place the cheese grater for a reason. Those tires do not last long enough, and I can pretty much guarantee you everyone's going to pit on this lap cycle just because they have to. And as we jump back to it, yeah, it looks like pretty much everybody getting back in the pit. Somebody got spun there, so I'm not really sure. Is that Matt Roberts? I believe that is. Matt Roberts was spun on the infield. Not sure what happened there. Maybe we can go back and take a look at that while we're waiting here with another Dent Wizard Rec replay. And I believe Matt Roberts was trying, I think he wanted to get on pit lane and he was trying to get it slowed down, was not able to do so. Spins around, gets on the infield. So I believe he was trying to pit there, was not able to. And right back up front, once again, James Holtzer still up there. Now, I'll tell you, David Duke, looks like he had to repair just a little bit of damage. His pit time was a little bit longer than everybody else's. And he dropped all the way back to 8th position after challenging for the lead there. So James has really taken on all comers so far, and that's really what he's done all season long. Taking on anybody that has come his way, and he has come out the champion. So once again, those people that do not know or have not seen yet, so James Holtzer, our league champion already, won it last week. So it just shows how great he's been all season, that he has completely won the league with an entire week to go. And so 3,010 laps run, 466 of those led. That is 15% of those laps led, and I guarantee you he has led more than 15% tonight. So he has been on fire. So 23 starts, 3 wins, 13 top 5s. That is our league champion, James Holtzer. So congratulations once again to him. While we have a brief moment, let's talk about this coming off season. So now these dates say Tuesday night. I'm going to have to verify that it is actually Tuesday night that they're going to be doing these. So Daytona starts this next Tuesday at on the 6th, so October 6th. So we're going to be at Daytona for 100 laps there. These are in the Xfinity cars, which if you've only driven the Cup cars, you really need to try the Xfinity cars because they're a lot of fun to drive. It's really a car that it is stable, but at the same time, once you get longer into the lap count, then you're going to have to learn how to drive that car, actually drive it. So going right back out there. And I believe, yep, we've got the 1 to go. So we've got 1 more to go. And then right back to work. We have just crossed the halfway point here at the Fast Track Finale 230. Again, nothing on the line as far as the championship is concerned. But for second place, definitely a lot on the line out there. So you do have Austin Reedy up in the second position right now. Nicholas Vizzutti, his main competition, in 7th right now. Actually, yeah, in 7th place right now in that number 75 car. And so definitely still a lot to be worked out here. I'm looking back through the pack a little bit. Let's find out where some people are. I know Roman Long was having some trouble there, really getting loose, got up into the wall a little bit. So he is back out there on track. I'm sure he's got some damage going on. I believe he's already used that fast repair. And so he's going to have to be extra careful. But towards the end of that run, just those tires were just going away to the point where he could barely hold on to it. Pace car is going to dive off. James Holtzer once again with the restart. And his main competition all year has been Austin Reedy, and Austin Reedy is up there in second place right now. So now Jonathan Warren is going to get to the inside, and he's going to take that second position away from Austin. And just to kind of fill you in on where some people are, so Mitch Brown involved in what we'll call an accident, but it didn't look very good, let's put it that way. So Mitch Brown up there in 17th position. He is a lap down, so he's going to have to work to get that lap back, maybe get a lucky dog somewhere. James Holtzer bringing him around one more time. And so once again, these top four have really been some of the, four of the top guys in the league all season long. So James Holtzer, Austin Reedy, Tyler Murray, Jonathan Warren. They have all been up front for the most part all season long. Now Austin Reedy taking the lead, and so he is going to try to run away. He wants to run a few laps up front. And so Holtzer just lets that one go a little bit. Tyler Murray up in second. So Holtzer's got some work to do to get back up there. But right now, Austin Reedy leading the lap, leading the race. So back a little bit further in the pack, Nicholas Vizzutti on the outside trying to make the pass on Brandon Banks. Trying desperately to get up there by Austin Reedy, who is up and leading the lap or leading the race, because Nick Vizzutti is 3 laps down, right? Or not 3 laps down. I'm sorry, 3 points down from second place in the standings. And so he really needs a good race, and he needs Austin to mess up just a little bit so he can get a little peek at that second place position. So now 15 drivers on the lead lap. And they're starting to space out just a little bit, and this is kind of what we expected to see after so many wrecks in the first half of the race. Once you've used up those fast repairs, then cars start dropping off the pace. So Austin Reedy trying to hold off Tyler Murray. James Holtzer's falling a half a second back. Trying to go back through now. David Duke, who was challenging for the lead a little while ago, he is all the way back in 13th position. So not sure what's going on with David. But he had a great car there for a while, and I don't see any damage, so I'm not really sure what caused him to fall back. So we may have to check in with him on the next caution and find out what happened. But right now, Austin Reedy barely holding an edge on Tyler Murray. Tyler Murray going to the inside, and he is going to put that 8 car in the lead, and he will clear Austin Reedy. But that little racing that just happened will allow James Holtzer to get right back into this. Holtzer was half a second down. Now he is right there on their bumpers. Tyler Murray will lead a lap, though. And Austin Reedy might get hung out to dry on the outside. Nope, they're going to get all lined up. So these top four, so Tyler Murray, Austin Reedy, James Holtzer, Brandon Banks, these top four have kind of broken away by about half a second on 5th place. And so we will see how long this could possibly go because, again, the last caution was on lap 74. We're on lap 88, and we know that the tires burn up awfully quickly here. So I can only imagine what's going to happen here in the next 10 to 15 laps. So Austin Reedy back up into the lead. Tyler Murray in second. James Holtzer, he is on the prowl right now. He is all over the back bumper of Tyler Murray. Last car on the lead lap right now, Tyler Werner up in 15th position. Still has a long, long way to go for Austin Reedy to catch him, so plenty of room there. Tyler Murray once again up in the lead. James Holtzer on the inside as well, leaving Austin Reedy out to the outside to dry. Here comes Brandon Banks on the inside, trying to make that pass for 3rd place. It's amazing how quickly things can turn here because here comes James Holtzer once again back to the lead. So they're just kind of dancing around on the track, each one of them taking their turns. Austin Reedy now going to the inside. And this is exactly what you want out of the finale. So now we have 5 drivers up front. Jonathan Warren has all of a sudden reintroduced himself to this front pack. And so now the top 5 all within about a quarter of a second of each other. This is exactly what you want in a finale. You want to see all 5 of these cars going head to head, nobody holding anything back, nobody waiting. Just going after it, and that's what they're doing right now. So Holtzer still out front. Reedy trying to track him down. Jonathan Warren back in 5th place. Tyler Murray, Brandon Banks 3rd and 4th. Brandon Banks makes a move to the inside. Isn't going to be able to get there though. And now he'll make that move to the inside, and he should be able to get it off of this corner. So Brandon Banks moving into 3rd place. Tyler Murray moves back to 4th. Jonathan Warren just kind of sitting back in 5th, and as quickly as he came on there, and as many big runs as we've seen him get, really I think he might just be biding his time back there, which isn't a bad move right now. So nobody really being able to break away tonight. Sometimes at Atlanta you can see one car just really get after it and break away, but these five are all over it. They are a second and a half ahead of 6th place, which is number 9, Brandon Gillis in that Under Armour car. And then Roman Long in the 99. He is next up. Now, the number 21, Matt Roberts, who you just saw pass Brandon Gillis, that is not for position. He is a lap down. So he is trying to work his way back onto that lead lap. And now Lane Bullock and Roman Long. So Lane is on the outside there in that purplish pink and white. Roman Long, and Roman Long may have gotten tapped there. He goes down to the inside of the track. He was down on the apron, comes back up off the apron, which is sometimes pretty dangerous, but he made that work. Mitch Brown right there as well. So Mitch has to be awfully careful, already down his fast repair, and he's a lap down already. So Mitch just trying to keep it clean right now, hoping for another caution so that he can get back out there on the lead lap. Oh no, and we've got a spin going on. I believe that's Roman Long. Roman Long into the wall, down to the inside. And no caution. So, wow, really interesting. There was not a caution there. David Duke also involved. Now there's the caution. So, really late caution flag there by iRacing. We will go back and find out what happened there, but it looked like Roman Long got up into the wall once again. So let's go back to another Dent Wizard Rec replay. And I believe this actually started with Ballard, I believe. So let's go back and look here. So you can see the number 32 Tide car. That is Ballard. He gets up into the wall, comes back down. Now he's off the track. So that didn't hurt Roman Long at all. Let's see if see what happened with Roman and Duke here. So that's where I saw Roman hit the wall. So let's go back one more time, find out if we can see that a little bit clearer. It looks like just some hard racing here. So we were saying Mitch Brown in the 51. Oh, it looked like Roman got down into Mitch. Then Roman gets up into the wall. David Duke gets into Roman Long. So some big hits there. So not a good race for Roman Long, and David Duke had a good race going and just encountered that. So now everybody getting out into the pits, trying to get everything repaired, getting some new tires, definitely getting some fuel, getting ready for this final 56 lap push. And so James Holtzer in the 88 should get the lead back. And he will. So James Holtzer once again will re-inherit that lead. Austin Reedy staying up in second. Brandon Banks in third. Jonathan Warren in fourth. Tyler Murray in fifth. So nothing's really changed there at all. So Lane Bullock up in sixth. Nick Vizzutti up in seventh. And so really not that much change off of pit road. Everybody needing brand new tires, everybody needing fuel. And we will see how some of these guys in the back, where they all grid up after all this. It looks like Mitch Brown will likely get this wave around, or Lucky Dog or wave around, and get back on the lead lap. So it'll be good to see him back out there, if that is the case. So now the leader's finally catching up to the pace car. And just checking out there on the track. So David Duke back there. You know what? Let's see if we can grab David Duke here really quick. See if we can't grab him and pull him in and talk to him just a little bit. Hey, David Duke, Sean up in the booth. How's it going, man?
Sean, how's it going, bud?
Man, it is going good. You know, for a while there, you were challenging for the lead, and then we saw you kind of drop off after a pit stop. Everything okay out there?
Yeah, a little heavy-footed there on pit exit, and he got busted for speeding. But
okay.
I got a pretty good long-run car. I hopefully go to the green here. I'll be back up there.
Now, I know you were involved in that last wreck, and you know, it didn't look like it was your fault, but definitely some damage there. So I'm assuming you've used your fast repair now.
Yeah, that was my fast repair. So I'm hoping to stay out of trouble, save some tires, and be there in the end.
All right, man. Well, it'll be good to see you up there. I know we've loved watching you race, not just in this league, but in other leagues as well. Get up there, get it done, buddy.
Yeah, hey, thanks Speed Racing Network for broadcasting this, and CMC Fabrication for sponsoring.
All right, buddy. Take it easy. All right. Once again, CMC Fabrication sponsors his car. Fantastic fabricators. So if you have any fabrication needs, just keep in mind CMC Fabrication. They won this past year's Talladega race in the Truck Series. So they built that truck from the ground up. So definitely, if you have any fabrication needs, if you're a real live racer and you need something built, then CMC Fabrication is fantastic. But up front, another person that's fantastic. Here is James Holtzer, our points champion, our league champion. Once again, up in first where he's most comfortable. You can follow him on twitch.tv/James Holtzer. That is showing on the back of his car there. But he's got some competition. We've had 6 or 7 guys up there challenging him. He has fought them all off up till now. And it looks like the pace car will dive off. James Holtzer once again on the restart. And he takes off. Austin Reedy dives down to the inside immediately to get right up behind him. Brandon Banks in the Home Depot number 20 car. He is going to be on the inside, trying to take third place away from Jonathan Warren. Jonathan wants, and we got another one off the pace. That is Tyler Murray that got touched. Oh no, we got Forrest Wind spinning. And he will get up in the wall. Oh no, and there goes Mitch Brown, and that might end Mitch Brown's race. That was a hard hit to the engine. And it looks like Debbie Hutchins involved in that as well. Forrest Wind definitely involved. And looks like, man, a few others out there. That is really, really tough. So Stephen Brunner in the Ally car as well. So we are going to get yet another caution out here. So we will go back, check it out one more time in the rec replay by Dent Wizard. And so once again, it was Forrest Wind that got tagged. Let's find out what happened here. So it was Nick Vizzutti on his inside. They just touched, might have been a net code. But then Forrest Wind goes for a ride up over on his hood. Tough hit on that one. So anytime we have something like that, so anybody that's squeamish, please look away, because this is Forrest Wind. This is what he just dealt with. So definitely a hard hit, and that will absolutely make you dizzy, even if you're looking at it on a computer screen. So definitely a hard hit there, and he will likely stay in the pits for a while now. So we've got a few people in the pits, including Debbie Hutchins, Donnell Williams, Mitch Brown, Steve Brunner, and then Forrest Wind. All of them are in the pits currently. And we will see how this thing shakes out, see how many people are still on the lead lap. Because we are running out of cars out there. With all the cautions that we've had, we are running out. So that is our 9th caution on the evening. So averaging about 1 caution every 10 or 11 laps. So, and out in the chat, Dustin Webb, man, it feels like the first few weeks of the season with all these cautions. Yep, it's a rough race out there tonight. Mitch Brown coming into the chat saying that he's done for the night. So definitely with the hit that he took, does not surprise me. I'm sorry to hear that, and sorry that you were involved in what was not a pretty accident earlier in the race. So sorry to see that. Mitch Brown, fantastic season. Really 3 of the best weeks that I've seen put together by any driver in the past 3 weeks. So 2 wins, 1 second place at Watkins Glen, and then had the lead here. And then definitely there was an incident. That's all I can say. So Mitch Brown, great driver. Hope to see you next season, buddy. Congratulations on actually 4 really good weeks. Just this one was kind of taken away from you. All right, up front, So James Holtzer, I know we've been kind of saying that all night long, but that's just how good this guy is. So he is still up front. Austin Reedy still up in second. This is starting to look kind of like our standing sheet. So for those of you that haven't seen that yet, so our standings for the season, James Holtzer, first place overall. He is the champion. Nobody can catch him tonight. So he has won that championship already. Austin Reedy up in second. He's only 3 points ahead of Nick Vizzutti. Now, I will tell you that Nick Vizzutti still on the lead lap as well. I know he's got some damage out there, but he is still up there racing hard for this thing. So second place is still yet to be figured out. Tyler Murray, who is in that number 8 car that's been challenging for the lead or up in the lead all night. He is in 4th in the standings. Tyler Werner in 5th, who he is in 7th place right now on the track. And then Brandon Gillis in 6th, who Brandon is actually out there in 9th position. So lots of fantastic racers. The other racer that's on that list, number in 7th place, Jonathan Warren. So he has put on some fantastic laps in this race. So he is up in 3rd position. And so be betting to see him challenging for the lead here shortly. Just really a great race already. And we will try to get this thing back started one more time. So 48 laps to go. And we've averaged about a caution every 11 to 12 laps. So definitely need to get some good green flag racing in here. I know David Duke was just saying that his car is good on the long run. We hopefully will find that out soon. But the pace car will dive off. Here comes James Holtzer once again, taking the green flag, bringing us to the start finish. Jonathan Warren on the inside of Austin Reedy, trying to take that second position, and he will. And so let's see how everybody slots out. So James Holtzer up front, Jonathan Warren in 2nd, Austin Reedy in 3rd, Lane Bullock up in 4th, Tyler Werner in that 33 Sylvania LED car is up in 5th, and then you have Brandon Banks and Tyler Murray doing battle for 6th. It looks like pretty much everybody got lined up really quickly this time around. I think pretty much everybody's tired of going around on caution laps, so I think they're ready to kind of get it settled down. Let's get out there. Let's do some racing. Let's make some clean passes. And let's get to the finish line. So Jonathan Warren on Holtzer's tail right now. Austin Reedy not letting him get too far away. We haven't talked much about Lane Bullock all night. Lane started up in the 15th position. I'm sorry, no, take that back. In the 18th position, he is up in 4th now. So definitely a strong run for Lane. Biggest mover of the night is Jonathan Warren. Started off in the 21st position, up in 2nd place right now. So a couple of big movers up here with all these cautions going on. It's been kind of easy to move up through the field as long as you stay clean. So Jonathan Warren going up, taking the lead, getting a little push from Austin Reedy. Is it going to be enough to hold off Holtzer? We will find out. Holtzer always gets a good run here on the outside, and there is that good run. And Holtzer is going to lead that lap, even though Warren had the lead there for a brief second. He could not get the bottom to stick. So Warren, once again, gets a huge run on the inside this time, and he will take the lead right back. And he will finally clear James Holtzer. So now Tyler Murray on the inside of James Holtzer trying to do the same thing. But Warren, he just attacked that position. And so Warren, I think, is saying, I'm tired of waiting. It's time to go. And so now Tyler Murray up in 2nd. James Holtzer kind of out there on an island on the outside all by himself. Austin Reedy trying to move up into that 3rd position. And he will take that 3rd position. And right behind him, here comes Tyler Werner as well to take a position. So James Holtzer has gone from first to fifth relatively quickly. I'm not sure he's, I don't think he's nervous about it. It's just he's kind of hung out there on an island to dry. Now up front, Tyler Murray, Jonathan Warren going head to head. We will see who gets out of this one out in the lead. So Warren was getting some great runs on the inside, but now he is stuck out on the outside. And Murray cannot quite completely clear him, but Murray will lead that lap. But Tyler Werner up in third position, actually moved into second now, passing Jonathan Warren on the inside. So these same 5 guys still going at it. That's pretty much what we've seen all evening long, is just 5 or 6 guys really going back and forth all night. And so now Tyler Werner will take that lead. Tyler Murray on the outside. So again, Tyler Murray gets stuck out there now, and Austin Reedy moves into second position. So that outside line works well for a little while, and then you just kind of get stuck out there if you don't have any help. And so that's going to be the interesting strategy coming towards the end of this race. It's who is going to get out to the outside with you. All right, so up in the booth right now, we do have Brandon, Superman Brand Browning. Brandon, how's it going tonight, brother?
Well, most of the day, Sean, has been pretty solid. About 45 minutes to an hour ago, my son decided he was going to take a bottle of maple syrup and play in it on the kitchen floor. They turned a little interesting for me, but I am glad to be here. Catch the end of this thing. I'm still sticky from my elbow to my toes. Yeah.
Well, we got a sticky situation out here on the track right now. So we got Tyler Werner, Austin Reedy, James Holtzer, Tyler Murray, and then Jonathan Warren. All 6 of these guys have been going head-to-head pretty much all race long. It is great to see this type of racing out here. Tyler Werner up front. Finally, one car breaks away a little bit, but only by 0.4 of a second. That's really all we've seen tonight, is just a little tiny lead, nothing major.
Yeah, and this is one of those tracks that it's really hard to try to make a breakaway, and I've kind of kept an eye on it while I was cleaning up my maple syrup ordeal. I did see, Jake Roel out front early. Obviously, some troubles took him out of the lead, but really, as you said, no breakaway, coming in here so far. I mean, the draft is just in so much of an effect. And I was talking with a friend of mine. It almost seems like now, Sean, with this new driving model, they've made it even harder to get out and get away from cars. It's like the draft effects were amplified for the package that they're currently running in Season 4, and I think it's starting to show here as we see Tyler Werner try his absolute hardest to break away, but for the most part, it really isn't doing much.
James Holtzer up in second place. He's been up in the lead for a lot of this race. He gave up the lead just a few laps ago, dropped all the way back to fifth, and all of a sudden back into second again. So he has got the car. He's got a really strong car out there, but Austin Reedy not letting him go far.
Yeah, and I almost wonder if maybe he wanted to back off, Sean, and cool those tires down one more charge at it. I think we saw Tyler Werner starting to get a little bit bigger in the rearview mirror and decided, hey, it's go time, but I don't have the tires to go. Obviously, maybe not expecting another pit stop here, so letting the tires cool down, and maybe he's got them to a temperature now, Sean, where he can just rock and roll with it and go back up there and take the lead.
And everybody talks about the tires here, and everybody says that this place is like a cheese grater. But what do the tires start to feel like? I know you're a much better racer than I am. When those tires start to scrub off, what does it feel like here?
First and foremost, honestly, I kind of disagree with you. You are an excellent driver in your own right. I wouldn't take that away from you for a second, buddy. But as far as the tires go, when you first start on a run, you don't really have the effect that you have at a lot of other tracks. You really have the grip right off the start, right out of the gate at this racetrack. And once you get about 15, 20 laps in, the track is just so hot. That's why I remember you saying earlier in the broadcast while I was watching that Jake Roel referred to it much like a cheese grater. Well, the one thing that I want to say is that's exactly right. And the reason that's right is the track is so hot. It heats up the rubber in the tires. After about 15, 20 laps, you just lose all grip. The tires are still there. You can feel the tire underneath you, but you just can't drive it into the bottom. You can't drive it as hard through the corner as you once did, on fresh rubber. So in a cheese grater sense, it just takes the goodness out of the tire and whatever's left.
Oh, we're taking a look right now at David Duke. So back in 7th position, he says he's got a good long run car. And so they need some long runs, man. I mean, we've had 9 cautions already. Last caution was at lap 102. So we're only 21 laps into this run. If he does have a good long run car, what is that going to mean?
What that's going to mean is he knows his car's set up for the long run, Sean. He's figured this place out on the long run. So anything above about 15, 20 laps is where David Duke's going to shine, which is right where we are now, about 21 laps into this run. What he's done is he set the car up so that he didn't burn the tires off in the first few laps like we saw, maybe Tyler Werner, James Holtzer, those guys up at the front do. Now what he's doing is he's using the tire that he saved throughout the run because he felt his car was faster across the long run. So he saved more tire now, so he's able to charge at these guys. And honestly, if we don't have another caution, I do expect David Duke to charge right up there and make a run at it, only 2 seconds behind. And he's actually behind some slower traffic now, Sean, that's really impeding his progress. So the longer he fights with the 78 and the 8 car in front of him, the better off it is for the leaders. But it looks like he's saved enough tire on that 79 machine that he's going to be a threat before this thing's over.
Yeah, definitely that 78 car has been fantastic on the short runs, making some crazy moves as far as, and not crazy bad, but I'm just saying great runs off the corners. That's kind of been his trademark today. So David Duke finally catching him, and so this long run is going to start to catch up to some of these guys.
Yeah, and the unfortunate part for David Duke right now, he's down on the bottom while you see everyone else pretty much running.
Oh, there he goes!
Well, that certainly is not going to help.
Yep, and he's already used his fast repair, so that might do it for him. Nice hard hit. That will bring out the caution. And he will likely get a penalty for unsafe pit entry as well, so that will probably end his night. Let's go back and take a look at a rec replay. You can see exactly what happened there.
Almost looked to me, Sean, and we'll see it here live. Dent Wizard bringing us the rec replay. It almost looked like the 8 car was just going to say, hey, you know what? You can have it. You're faster. You've been dogging us for a few laps. And I don't think the 78 car was ready for that. He might have got just into the left rear quarter panel, actually trying to take him 3 wide, and the 8 car did not realize he was there. And unfortunately for the 79 machine, we were just talking about him. The broadcaster's curse, it's going to collect David Duke and send him hard to the inside pit wall.
Rough hit there and a rough, probably into the night for David Duke.
Yeah, I saw the car leave pit road, so I almost imagine that David Duke might have called it quits there after that incident. Obviously, it's up for these guys coming in here, running with the guys that have been here since the beginning and early. But, Sean, nonetheless, we've seen guys such as David Duke, Jake Roel come in and really make a name alongside of these guys. And unfortunately for David Duke, the luck's going to run just short here, and he's not actually going to find it where he thought he once would.
So James Holtzer and the rest of the leaders coming into the pits. Let's see who gets right back out there quickly. Everybody should be pitting this time around. Nobody has pitted, I believe, since 112, I think, is about the last time that people pitted.
I fully expect here, Sean, you're going to see the hardest they've pushed their tires all night. Just about, I would imagine, 21, 22 laps to go when we do retake the green flag. So well within that window of where the tires just start to get hot and turn into mush, much like the run we just saw, which may be just enough time for James Holtzer to hold off here and make a charge to try to take this win.
Well, now James Holtzer blinking out just a little bit, and sometimes that happens on iRacing when you have when the frame rate comes down because of going so slow out there. So typically when you speed back up, those frame rates pick back up, and you don't blink out nearly as much. So, but he's back now, it looks like.
I'll tell you what, Sean, I know we broadcast another series on Sunday nights, Mid-South Madness, and the one thing, I know he missed the playoffs there. David Duke, talking about him just, being involved in that incident. I will say for the guys that are racing Sunday night in round one of the playoffs on Mid-South Madness, watch out for that 78 machine. He's the 78 in that series, 79 here, because he's had some great luck go sour all week long in about every series he runs in. And that's scary because it can only go up from the luck that he's had, Sean.
I'll tell you, this league is starting to test out some playoff processes and some playoff strategies and setups and that sort of thing. And I'll tell them just from the experience that we've had both in IVCS, which we broadcast on Friday, as well as Mid-South Madness, which we broadcast on Sunday, the playoff structure makes it so much more fun because you get to that last week and there's so much drama there. Not drama in the chat or anything like that, but I'm talking drama on the track. We had a situation at Mid-South Madness this past Sunday where last week of qualifying to get into the playoff, and we had one guy miss it by one single solitary point. And so it was one of those things where, Brandon, you and I were trying to figure out who's in and who's out coming down to the last lap. And so that's the fun that you have with playoff racing. And so that's what this league has to look forward to next season.
Yeah, and I, again, not to touch on, his name too much, but again, David Duke was just 3 points out, Sean, and he finished second in that race. So, just the excitement that playoff racing alone brings is what these guys have to look forward to. A great group of guys, but could you imagine these guys here duking it out the way that we've seen here in the 4-Wide Racing League? But with the playoffs on the line, Sean, facing elimination, much of nothing that James Holtzer had to worry about this season, as he pretty much took it by storm. But next season, 1 point could be the difference in being the champion and being at home on the sidelines.
Well, we have a little bit of that feel tonight. So just bringing it back up really, really quickly. So the Cup standings. So Austin Reedy only 3 points ahead of Nicholas Vizzutti. Now, Nick Vizzutti is out there on the track on the lead lap. He is up in 7th position, so he is not far off at all.
Yeah, and Austin Reedy, I believe, will restart in the 3rd position here. So if something goes a little crazy here on this restart, it could allow Nick Vizzutti to be back in the running for that 2nd place position in the playoff or in the championship standings. But this time, Sean, we might be seeing the last time we need our pace car. He's about to make his way to the left-hand side. It's up to James Holtzer from here, and he's off. And we're back to green flag racing maybe for the final time tonight.
And he takes, no, we might get another caution here because we've got some spinning, and that's Brandon Gillis on his top. And it looks like Matt Roberts involved as well. So, yeah, we got another caution, Brandon. And that really hurts Brandon Gillis because he's on his top. He has to take that toe, and when you take that toe, you definitely go a lap down.
Yeah, and unfortunately for him, that's going to be about the end of his night. The Dent Wizard Rec Replay about to bring it to you, and we'll see just what happened on that restart for Gillis and what led to him ending up on his roof.
Take a look at the pink and black number 9 car, and it looks like Matt Roberts in the 21 right behind him just gets a little bit too much into his left rear. And then Brandon Gillis goes up on his top.
Such a simple rollover there. It didn't look like that hard of an impact, but obviously just the right impact to roll that car over. I almost wonder here, Sean, if maybe the 9 car was a little late grabbing the gear. You see the RPMs were kind of high there as he got spun around, so maybe missed a gear just before getting turned around and ultimately led to the 21 getting into the back of that machine.
Well, that is likely the end of his race as well. So now we are down to 10 drivers on the lead lap. And really, we talked about it before, that it could be a battle of attrition, and that's really what it feels like right now, where only 10 laps or 10 cars still on that lead lap. Vizzutti goes back in, hopefully to get some damage repaired while we're still under caution. But Holtzer, once again, staying out of trouble because he is up in that lead pack, and that's what he's done all season long. You know, in our interview a little bit earlier, he said that he had a few races where if he finished outside the top 10, it's because he wrecked the car completely and totally, and he was out of the race. So it was pretty much all or nothing. Well, tonight it sounds like it's all.
Yeah, and I think, unfortunately for the guys chasing that number 88 machine in the lead right now, this is going to take us down to about 17 or 18 laps to go, Sean, where we'll likely see the perfect wheelhouse for that 88 machine to just use the tires, stay up front like he has much of the night, and make it hard for Tyler Werner or Bullock in third to try to run him down.
And as we're coming down to 20 laps to go as we cross the start-finish line, what are you thinking now? So, you know, you're on these tires that you just got this past caution, so they're not that old yet. But 20 laps is a tough ask tonight, obviously, because, you know, we've had, I believe, 10 cautions now. So what are you looking at? If you're up in the lead, are you expecting another caution?
I'll give you a first and a second place for what I would be looking for as a driver. If I'm James Holtzer and I'm leading this thing, you hope one of two situations. You hope that you either go green to the end and you stay on this set, or you have just a bunch more cautions that lead to a green-white checkered, Sean. And the reason I say that is because it leads to my second place. What do you ask? If you're Tyler Werner, what you ask is you ask for about a 10, 11, 12 lap run where the news starts to come off of those tires, and you get to play the 50-50 game with the leader, James Holtzer. You do what he doesn't, Sean. If he stays, you go. If he goes, you stay. So right now, I think the control car as to what's going to happen here in the 4-Wide Racing League ultimately is that 33 of Tyler Werner. If a caution were to come out after about 8, 9, 10, 11 laps, you're then sitting in the hot seat. So you do exactly what James Holtzer doesn't. If he decides he wants 4 fresh tires, you stay out on the tires you got. Because if you run that many laps, chances are you won't run more than about 5 or 6 to the end. So big play here. But if you're James Holtzer, you just want this thing over with.
So huge, not really implications here tonight, but a lot of fun nonetheless. So we are sitting here with 19 laps to go. We'll be at 18 laps to go when we come to the start-finish line. Brandon, who's your pick?
I'm going to stick with the man that's pretty much done it all season long. I'm going James Holtzer to close this thing out. This time it'll be 18 laps. He didn't really have but about 100 feet on the tires that time, Sean. I think he's got what it takes to get it done. What's on your mind?
I'm going to go a little different. I'm going to go the underdog, somebody that has made some good moves tonight that I like his short run. I'm going to go with the number 78, Jonathan Warren, in that Texaco car.
Yeah, and he definitely has a shot to charge back up there, just sitting in the third row back on the inside. So if he can get a Superman-like restart, he definitely can be there already in turn 1. But with 18 laps to go this time by, plenty enough time for that 78 machine to get the wheels turning and start tracking down the guys, especially if you see our leaders, Werner and Holtzer, battling side by side for position, will ultimately allow that 78 to easily open the door and slide on through.
Coming around turns 3 and 4, we will get the pace car off of the track. And once it drops off the track, James Holtzer once again will control this restart. And there he goes. He takes off. Tyler Werner kind of snuck up a little bit on there. He had to back off a little bit so he didn't cross the start-finish line first and get a penalty. And so that allows James Holtzer to get out front. And we are packed up tight up front there, buddy.
Yeah, the brief 78 car, Jonathan Warren, and actually he's going to do it now. The 11 of Austin Reedy going to say, no, don't want a part of that, but he was willing to take it 3 wide because he knows it's do or die. This time by 17 laps to go. Tyler Werner right on the back bumper of the 88, which is seemingly starting to creep open that door for the 78 of Jonathan Warren, who's closed in third place, John. So it's about to be a battle to the end of this thing.
James Holtzer holding that lead. He has taken on all challengers and beat all challengers all season and in this race. But now we got Tyler Werner right on his tail, Jonathan Warren right on Tyler's tail. So a couple guys here that really, really want to take this win and steal the thunder.
Yeah, and unfortunately with the way they're racing, James Holtzer's about to be tasked with a big task in its own, because you have Tyler Werner using those new tires on the high side, carrying the momentum. You have Jonathan Warren on the bottom, who's using all the grip he can get. He's actually going to get door to door with the number 88 car for the lead. But there's Austin Reedy, who's pushed himself back into this battle here as he tries to peek in for third. Actually, Tyler Werner's going to slide all the way back to fifth and maybe more as the one car. I believe that's Lane Bullock coming up there. Also, Nick Vizzutti says, hey, I'm looking for second place. He takes it 3 wide down the front stretch as they cross the line, settled it out 2 by 2.
3 wide for the lead.
Tyler Murray out of nowhere. I honest to goodness never even saw the 8 car in the battle, and now Sean, all of a sudden, he's poked his nose out to the lead.
So here we go. Tyler Murray up in the lead. You got James Holtzer on the outside in second, and now finally Jonathan Warren will actually dip down and get right behind Tyler Murray. And whoo, that was a little bit fun there for a couple laps.
And the fun's not done yet. John, the 78, shoving the 8 car down into turn number 1. Wants to solidify second with no challengers as Lane Bullock looks inside of the 88 of James Holtzer for third position. The 78 continues to shove the 8 as we make it into turn number 3, but don't count out the... James Holtzer sideways! Beautiful.
And he saves it!
But I tell you what that allowed is what I was just about to say.
Oh no, here we go.
Austin Reedy, James Holtzer hard into the inside wall, much like we just saw the David Duke machine do. But Sean, the biggest impact there, Nick Vizzutti makes it through in the top 3, and the guy he's chasing in points is all the way back here now as we do have a caution.
So we will go back and find out what happened back there between Austin Reedy and James Holtzer.
Dent Wizard, as always, bringing you the wreck replays, keeping you up to date on all the incidents involved. We'll see here, Sean, it looked to me much like what we saw with the 79 machine earlier in David Duke.
So Holtzer got sideways a little bit, saved it, stayed out on the track, and then he and Austin Reedy just kind of get into it a little bit. And that sends Holtzer into the pit lane wall. Reedy stays out on the track.
Just looks like almost the 11 is going to, at minimum, pick up a little bit of aero damage from his jump there. You see kind of the left front tire. Well, actually doesn't look too bad from that angle. Maybe some minor damage to that machine, but I thought for sure with the bump that he took, yeah, no damage there, Sean. Let's jump over and take a look at the right side. See, yes, maybe a little bit of cosmetic there around the front end, but nothing I think that's going to bother this 11 car. He definitely has to race for his, second place life, we'll say, as now Nick Vizzutti is in the third position, Sean.
So Tyler Murray with an incredible restart and really a great move to put himself in position. And now he is up in the lead. Jonathan Warren will be on the outside. And we will probably get to about 9 to go before we get back to racing. But Nick Vizzutti has really given himself a shot here. Now, here's what makes it interesting. Austin Reedy went into the pits. I'm not sure if... he's coming out of the pits now. So Austin Reedy now with brand new tires. Is that going to make a difference here? Because looks like Vizzutti is on 10-lap old tires.
Realistically, it's all going to come down to just how much aero damage, how much actual body damage that, actually happened to that 11 machine. Obviously, a little coming from the left rear of the 88 machine as he spun across the nose. But right now, Nicholas Vizzutti has to be as nervous as ever, as currently third place, Sean, back to ninth. Nonetheless, that's simple math, about 6 points on the racetrack, and Nick Vizzutti only trailed by 3.
So that would definitely give him second place. Again, I mean, there's definitely some bonus points for leading a lap, which Austin Reedy has led at least one. But it looks like James Holtzer will pick up the points for leading the most laps. So it looks like only one bonus point for Austin Reedy. So he's got some work to do now.
Yeah, and I think he's about to drive his absolute heart out because he's been at most second best or not at most, but at least second best in this season. Sorry, I do apologize to Austin Reedy. Excellent driver. I kind of got my words mixed up there, but he's been at least the second best driver all season long. That's why he held that position, the second place position, and was, seemingly for a while chasing down James Holtzer for that championship lead, but some trouble here and some trouble there kind of sealed the door for that one. But now, Sean, under battle with Nick Vizzutti for the third position, or the second position rather, while Nick Vizzutti runs in third position. It's going to make it hard. He has to charge back up through here, and I think if you're the 8-car Tyler Murray, you just have to clear the 78 machine and Jonathan Warren, because I'm sure Nick Vizzutti is perfectly fine with a third-place finish as long as that 11 car's 3 spots or more behind him.
Well, again, these short runs have been the 78 Jonathan Warren, his bread and butter. And so this is exactly what he's been looking for all night. We will probably get to, I believe we're going to get restarted at 8 to go. And so, yep, the lights are out on the pace car, so we will get back started with 8 laps remaining. Can Jonathan Warren do it one more time on a short run, or will Tyler Murray break through, win this final race, and go into the off-season league with the momentum?
It's hard to say at this point because honestly, Brandon Banks is going to be the 4th place driver. And, Sean, he can come out of here as the winner if these top 3 start to wobble. Of course, we saw Tyler Murray wasn't in the front row of the last restart, but now holds the lead. So the 4th place, if he gets a good 1 and 2 behind the 78 of Jonathan Warren, can also punch his way in. So who knows realistically, Sean, who's going to come out of here as the leader? If you look at Lane Bullock, he restarted in the 3rd position last restart. He's all the way back in about 7th or 8th position right now.
And so we've got 10 people on the lead lap. James Holtzer is actually the last driver on the lead lap, and I'm not sure he's done yet.
Yeah, he's driving mad now, but we will find out in about 8 laps. The pace car taking the elusive left-hand turn, gets a little bit of air, and it's up to Tyler Murray, who's hard on the throttle. Jonathan Warren going to switch lanes, but James Holtzer does more of the same. He's already 3 wide, passing, I believe that's Wayne Rayburn on the outside. He wants a piece of the action for the win. Felt he was robbed of what just went down, and he's got to go, Sean, because with just 8 laps, 7 this time by, he has to catch the man out front, Tyler Murray and Jonathan Warren. So we will see. Here he is, up to 4th position now, Sean. You were correct. James Holtzer not out of it yet. Challenging for 3rd now, coming back for his top spot.
Started off in 10th place on that restart in 1 lap. Made it all the way up to 3rd. Now he's challenging for 2nd, diving to the inside, and he is going to get that 2nd position. James Holtzer, he doesn't want the championship. He wants the whole dang pie.
Yeah, and I tell you what, there's going to be 2 cars who have to wrestle it away for him as he's looking outside. Tyler Murray tries to block, and he's going to put him in the outside wall. You just can't follow.
And Austin Reedy. Oh, and that's good. Yeah, we got a wreck. We got a big one. So Holtzer involved. That's Wayne Rayburn there. Lane Bullock involved. Brandon Banks involved. Lots of people involved in that wreck.
I tell you what, Sean, if I'm a driver out there and I just watched the drive of that 88 machine, there's no way, and well, you guessed it, that I'm staying out on the racetrack this time, because that drive was all tires. You saw the damage that he took to the inside wall, but he drove back up through there with new tires. Now Dent Wizard takes it to the wreck replay for that one there.
Well, we're going to back it up a little bit further than we normally do, just because, we had Tyler Murray kind of get into him a little bit, get him out into that wall. And then as he's coming around, Austin Reedy gets into Wayne Rayburn, and then the 20 gets into James Holtzer. So, and then big hit there from the 32 as well. So yeah, that's definitely going to put some damage on James Holtzer. But Robert Ballard getting some damage in there as well. So this is going to change everything.
I tell you what, if that 88 gets that car fixed again and drives back through the field, I might just have to retire as a driver because I'm nowhere near that skill level. Ooh, Tyler Werner faked like he wanted it, but decided he did not. James Holtzer not bringing that 88 machine back to pit road that time by. So, that could be all for naught. If there's anyone that was happy to see that, it's likely the 78 and the 8, Jonathan Warren and Tyler Murray. Happy to see the incident there, unfortunately, was the 8 car. So we'll see what happens here, Sean. It's going to be likely a green, white checkered restart.
I mean, far be it from me to challenge or second guess our points champion. I'm wondering why he wouldn't come down pit road right there, because he knows he's going to be restarting in the back again. Why not get even fresher tires? I know you may have some damage on there. Repair just a tad of that damage and then have a shot at this thing. I'm curious why he would not go down pit road there.
Maybe he felt as though that 88 machine would have too much required repairs with the hard hits that he took, maybe seemingly ending his night, so he just chose to ride it out. I couldn't see any other reason why, just as you said, he wouldn't bring that machine down pit road. The only thing that comes to mind is exactly that.
Well, and that, I guess that makes sense because, we're going to be going into basically a green-white checker situation. And so all he's got to do is get that car around 3 laps.
And I think that's exactly what he's hoping for now, just to nurse home a finish in this thing here. He doesn't want to fall off the lead lap. Want to jump out to the chat real quick while we have a moment, Sean. I see Dustin Webb said originally, wow, Caution Fest, SMH, oh no, the 88 wrecked. I'm so sad, rolls eyes. Let's go 75, so a Nick Vizzutti fan. But I will tell you, Dustin Webb, for you watching here, you have to give credit where credit's due to that 88 machine who made a heck of a run back up through the field there. Brandon Gillis said, well, shucks, sucks to end my final race before hanging it up on my roof. Yeah, buddy, that was a tough one. Honestly, didn't look like that hard of an impact, but the physics in this game are as realistic as they could be for a simulator. So maybe that's how it goes. I have no problem saying that I know for a fact you will rebound next year fully and stronger than you ran this season. So keep your head up, keep your head down rather, and keep grinding. Brandon Gillis, that is, who we saw into his night on the roof of his machine, Sean.
Oh, man, it's good to see them out in the chat. And again, this league is such a tight-knit group. And, yes, we do have a lot of competition out there on the track, but everybody enjoys just racing in general. And so always, and like Holtzer was saying a little bit earlier, they have watch parties, for these races right after the race. And so really cool to see a group of guys and girls with Debbie Hutchins out there that really enjoys iRacing to the point where, wrecks happen. Yes, stuff happens out on the track, but man, they're all good friends, and this is really the perfect place to hone your skills. It's the perfect place to meet some people that enjoy doing what you do as well. So great league here. Cannot wait to see what their future looks like.
Yeah, and it's bright nonetheless. It is a bright, bright future for the drivers of the 4-Wide Racing League. I definitely, am impressed by a lot of these guys, by James Holtzer, Tyler Murray, Tyler Warner, Austin Reedy, all the guys involved. There's not a single driver that I've seen drive here, Sean, that I'm like, man, that guy needs some work, some improvement. You see that in a lot of leagues, but not 4-Wide Racing. They've been, like as you said, a pretty solid, tight-knit group, but here we go, Sean. Maybe the final time around turn number 4. I've said it once this race. I'll say it again because we're finally we're running out of laps, rather. We're down almost to the green-white checkered. Here we see the pace car leaving again. Up to Tyler Murray in that 8 machine, who gets an excellent restart with help from his teammate, Tyler Werner, just behind him. The 3 teammates, Werner, Murray, and Reedy, all on the bottom, leave the lone man out top. Jonathan Warren trying to wrestle it away. This time by, there'll be 1 lap to go, Sean. It's going to get exciting.
It's been exciting all race long. Jonathan Warren trying to get a good run on the outside. Can't quite make it there. So it's going to be Tyler Werner pushing Tyler Murray. as we cross the start-finish line for the white flag on the season. So last lap of the season, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
And you see Austin Reedy, after spinning through the infield, has made his way back up to the top 5. Nick Vizzutti, and has a shot here. He was trying to help his teammates on the bottom, but he's going to go to Jonathan Warren on the outside and maybe try to push him clear and have one last shot. Now Warren edges clear. 2 more turns remain. They're going to touch for first and second. Neither of them lift as they come off at turn 4, and it looks like Tyler Murray's going to get it done in the season finale.
Tyler Murray in the number 8 car. Congratulations to him. Oh, and we got wrecking right after the fact. I know there was some contact. Tyler Werner got down to the inside, came back out onto the track, and a huge wreck happened there. But Tyler Murray ends up winning that race. Looks like Jonathan Warren in second. and Murray will just biff it into the wall.
What a better way to end your season, across first in the line and just destroy the car as you do leave the final race of the season. Just for Dustin Webb in the chat, we keep it unbiased here. We do not have a bias, so I understand where you're coming from, but I myself personally respect the crap out of James Holtzer and what he's done in this season. He has found what has become his key, but tonight it's all about Tyler Murray in the 8 car, Sean, who's about to give us a show and burn it down.
And then there's Jonathan Warren as well. So, man, all sorts of people doing donuts out there. I think James Holtzer is down there on the infield as well. He is. So everybody doing donuts out there, having a great time. Again, what a fun league to be a part of. And this will wrap it up for the season.
Let's see if I can jump in my car real quick and join these boys on the front stretch. Burn my car down as well. I didn't do a darn thing, but they look like they were having fun on the front stretch.
Well, let's see if we can pull up our results. And here we go. So Tyler Murray up in first place, Jonathan Warren in second, Tyler Werner in third, Austin Reedy in fourth.
5th place, Mr. Brandon Banks, as it's listed. 6th place, Nicholas Vizzutti. 7th place, Matt Roberts. 8th place, after a great rebound from the incident, was James Holtzer in the 8th position.
Wayne Rayburn Jr. in 9th place, Lane Bullock in 10th, Stephen Brunner in 11th, Brandon Gillis up in 12th.
The man that joined us in chat just a few moments ago, Robert Ballard Jr. in 13th, Debbie Hutchins 14th, David Duke 15th, Donnell Williams in 16th.
And Forrest Wynn 17th, Mitch Brown in 18th, Roman Long 19th, and Stephen Waltrip rounds out our top 20. All right, well, let's see if we can get some of these guys up here to talk to. Let's start off with Tyler Werner here. Let's see if we can grab him and find out.
While you do pull him up, Sean, I just want to speak. I know he's going to watch it back. Roman Long and everyone involved at 4 Wide Racing, thank you for allowing Sean and myself to be a part of your season. We've enjoyed watching and casting some of the greatest action that iRacing has to offer, buddy. Big things are in the future of 4 Wide Racing League. We're looking forward to it.
All right, well, let's see if we can get Tyler up here. Tyler, Sean, and Brandon up in the booth. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Doing good. Great finish. Love seeing you guys. Unfortunately, you kind of wrecked the car there at the end, but still got the 3rd place. Congratulations.
Yeah, I tried to go for that pass in the grass. I really didn't want to get in the Warren there, so I just tried to hold her low, I guess.
Well, Tyler, I do, what did you think coming to the white flag when you look in your front windshield and out your rearview mirror and you see so many cars battling for it? I have to imagine it almost made this track seem like a restrictor plate race there for a moment.
Oh, it definitely brought back memories from when I pushed Murray to a win at Talladega. That was probably the early highlight of the season for the team. But I know it was going to be like a drafty track tonight, just with the high downforce package and stuff, but it really didn't kind of pan out at the beginning for me. I had to drive her, seemed like from the back to the front all night, but at the end we just held her up front and pushed our teammate to the win.
Well, you definitely drove from the back to the front. I mean, you started off in 23rd, ended up in 3rd. You were the best mover of the night, and so fantastic drive out there. What do you think you have going into the Xfinity cars in the off-season league?
I really like the tightness of the Xfinity cars. I'm more of a back it up and hit the gas in the corner kind of guy. So I really feel like my driving style kind of suit the Xfinity cars.
Excellent, man. Well, we can't wait to see you there. And once again, I believe that starts this Tuesday at Daytona. So congratulations on a great season. Congratulations on third place finish tonight. We'll get you back down there with your team. Is there anybody that you'd like to thank before you get sent back to your teammates?
I'd really like to thank Roman for putting this on. Me and him kind of linked up right at the beginning, try and get some ideas for this after he had already set it up. And big shout out to Tyler Murray for making some of the best paint schemes for us here.
All right, buddy. Well, we appreciate you being here, and we will see you guys soon.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, we'll drop him back down in there. I'm looking through the chat, Brandon. I do not see Jonathan Warren in there. And so disappointing on my part because, man, I picked him to win the race. But we can't talk to him because he's not in the chat. So let's go ahead and pull up Tyler Murray. He is our race winner. Tyler Murray, Sean and Brandon up in the booth. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, man, it's going a lot better than I expected tonight to go.
What a great finish. That was the most fun champion. Well, it wasn't a championship race, but the most fun finale I've ever seen in iRacing.
Hey, man, that's what we look to do here. We definitely look to put on a show. But real quick, before we continue the interview, I want to take a chance to apologize for getting into the door of the 88 and the 78 there on the last lap. Not how I want to race. So I want to take a shout out here to them and say they're great racers. I knew I had to do it to beat them, and I just really wanted that win tonight.
Definitely, and I'm sure they understand that. I mean, everybody in this league, for the most part, are really, really great racers, really classy guys. Really a lot of fun watching you guys all season. So what is in store going into the Xfinity cars and going into the off-season league?
Well, I mean, we are hoping that we have all of our truck guys, since we're going to be running it on Tuesdays when we normally run the truck league. We're hoping to have all of those guys participate, and a lot of these cup guys, a lot of us have Tuesday free. That's kind of what we all decided we were going to run. So we're definitely hoping to bring in some new guys and see if we can't get a bigger field to put on a show for next season when the new season starts up in January.
Excellent, man, and yeah, definitely. We were looking to see what kind of playoff things you were going to have going on, as well as some of the stage racing, and we were just discussing while you were racing out there that if this was a playoff race, holy goodness, it'd be even more fun.
Oh yeah, dude. We were keeping track because earlier in the season, we took a vote to see if we wanted to do like a NASCAR Cup Series style playoff, and this was obviously going to be the championship race. So we were keeping track of that to the side, kind of like as like a fantasy, like what could have been, and I was one of the final 4 contenders coming into this race, so that's why I was driving it so hard. That's why I wanted to win it so bad. Is just to tell everybody like, hey, if we did playoffs, I was the champion.
Man, that's excellent. It's just so much fun, and that's really what anybody can expect from this league. So again, I've said this a few times. Any beginners out there, anybody that just wants to be part of a really great group, this is the great group. So definitely join them on Tuesday nights, starting this Tuesday at Daytona. Get in here, have some fun with everybody. But Tyler, is there anybody you'd like to thank before you get back to celebrating?
First off, want to thank my entire team, Roman, Tyler, Austin. We had a great season here for Big Fast Racing. Great team effort when we needed it most. That's what got us the win here. And I'd like to give a shout out to the podcast that normally sponsors me. We're running an alternate scheme tonight, but the High Life Sports Podcast, you can find those guys over on Spotify, Apple Music, or go to highlifesports.net. Go ahead and give them a listen. Definitely big supporter of the team and the league.
Excellent, man. Well, we will get you back down there. Congratulations on the win tonight, and we look forward to seeing you next season.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. We'll catch you guys.
All right, buddy. All right. So once again, one more time. So coming up this off season. So starting this Tuesday at Daytona in the Xfinity cars. So it's the off season league. So it's still going to be a fun league, but I mean we are doing some testing. We're definitely trying to figure out the playoff system as far as how we're going to work that, as well as the stage racing as well. So definitely come out, join us for the Xfinity off-season league starting this Tuesday at Daytona. And Brandon, it has been a great season. We are very, very happy to be part of all of this stuff. But the season is now coming to a close. It is over now. But everybody, please be safe out there. Please enjoy yourselves. And once again, if you are not an iRacer, get into this stuff, man. It is a lot of fun. So everybody have a fantastic evening for myself, Sean Griffith, as well as Brandon Superman Brand Browning. Congratulations on a fantastic season, and good night, everybody.